In the previous video, we've learned about the different rules for vector multiplication. Okay, this is for dot product. I dot I, j dot j, k dot k is 1, and this I dot j, j dot I dot k. Okay, all these comes out to be equal to 0. So these are the rules for dot product, and this is the rule for vector product that we checked in the previous video. Now, keeping these things in mind, okay, let us deal with certain numerical problems related to multiplication of vectors. So let us start with the simplest of problems. Find the dot product between two vectors having magnitude 6 units and 5 units and inclined at an angle of 60 degrees with respect to each other. So this question has given us the magnitudes of two vectors, okay, whatever these vectors are, okay, and of course whatever the units therefore. So one of the vectors has magnitude 6 units, the other has magnitude 5 units, and they are inclined at an angle of 60 degrees. Okay, so what we suppose, and we want to find the dot product between these two vectors. So we suppose magnitude of vector A to be 6 units, magnitude of vector B to be 5 units. All right, so A dot B, according to definition, vector A dot B is magnitude of A, magnitude of B cos theta. Theta is the angle between them. Okay, so A dot B is 6 magnitude of the first vector into 5 magnitude of the second vector into cos of the angle between them, which is 60 degrees. So this comes out to be 30 into half. So A dot B is 15 units squared. Okay, now keep one thing in mind. I have written unit squared over here. Now this is true if they have the same units. If we are multiplying the same vectors, so to say, maybe two forces or two velocities, two acceleration, whatever. If we are multiplying the vectors having same units, only then will be unit squared. So if it is, say for example, force, so 6 Newton and 5 Newton will give us 15 Newton squared, the unit. But we could also multiply different vectors, so like we can multiply force with displacement. Okay, so in that case, of course, we are not going to get a squared unit squared over here. So keep that thing in mind. Now in this problem, there are two vectors A and B given, and you can see from their representation that both of vector A and vector B, they are 3D vectors. So the question is find A dot B and also find A cross B. All right. Now see, in this question, the angle between the vectors, if the angle between the vectors were given, then what we would do is, we would simply, to find the dot product, we would do simply this A dot B is magnitude of A, magnitude of B cos theta. If theta was given, we would apply this. If vector A is given, we can of course find its magnitude. All right, how do you find the magnitude of a 3D vector? The magnitude of a 3D vector, okay, let me show you over here. See, magnitude of a 3D vector, this kind of a 3D vector is given by square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. We have checked in one of the previous videos. Okay, if you haven't watched that video, I suggest you to watch that video first. Okay, so magnitude of a 3D vector is given by this. So if a 3D vector is given, we can easily find its magnitude. So magnitude of vector A will be 1 squared plus 2 squared plus 5 squared. So this would be the magnitude of vector A, and likewise we could find the magnitude of vector B. But theta is not given to us in the question. All right, if theta was given, we would do this. We would find magnitude of A, we would find magnitude of B, and we would find cos theta, thereby we would get A dot B. Okay, but since the angle theta is not given to us, we have to find A dot B this way. Simply we multiply the two vectors. Multiply meaning we find the dot product of the two vectors. A dot B can be written as A dot B. Do not forget to show the symbol over here of a dot, that of a dot. Okay, if you don't show the dot, you will lose marks definitely. So this thing can be written as, so this I, we will find the dot product of this I with the whole of the second vector. So this can be written as I dot, again the symbol dot, I dot the second vector B plus 2j dot the second vector B plus 5k dot the second vector B. All right. It's very similar to what you do in your algebra. If we are to multiply these two terms, x plus y plus z and x squared plus y squared plus z squared, so what we do is, so x will multiply the whole thing plus y into the whole thing plus z into the whole thing. Okay, so very similar to this, whenever we are finding either a dot product or a cross product also, okay, so we do that, provided we write the appropriate symbol. So I dot this b, the second vector, plus 2j dot the second vector plus 5k dot the second vector. Now then after, what we do is we go on simplifying it. We go on opening the bracket now. So I dot 3 I cap, it should be I dot 3 I cap. My pen is not writing, so I dot 3 I cap. Okay, so what we do is we first multiply the numbers. So I means 1i, so 1 into 3 is 3. Then after, we are left only with the vectors. We are only to deal with the vectors. Then we have I dot I, so 3 into I dot I. So plus into minus is minus, 6 into 1 is 6, then I dot j, so minus 6 I dot j. 1 into 1 is 1, okay, of course plus into plus is plus, then 1 into 1 is 1, so I dot k. Then we are done with this, the first term. Then the second term, so 2 into 3 is 6, so 6 into j dot I, plus into minus is minus, 12 into j dot j, plus into plus is plus, so 2 into j dot k. We have dealt with the second term also. Then we come to the third term, plus 15 into k dot I, minus 30 into k dot j, plus 5 into k dot k. Alright. Then after, we already know I dot I is 1. J dot j likewise is 1. K dot k likewise is 1. Okay, I dot j, j dot I, k dot I dot k, every other thing is 0. So 3 into I dot I is 3 into 1. Minus I dot j being 0, so this becomes 6 into 0. Now keep in mind, this is a scalar multiplication sign now. Alright, which is different from a cross product, remember. Although it looks similar, this is scalar multiplication sign and the cross product symbol looks similar, but the meaning is different. We should not forget that. Then we come to the third term, I dot k is 0. Alright, plus 6 into j dot I again is 0. Minus 12 into j dot j being 1, so minus 12 into 1. Plus 2 into 0 here, j dot k being 0. Plus 15 into k dot I again is 0, so 15 into 0. Minus 30 into 0, k dot j being 0. Plus 5 into 1, k dot k is 1. Alright, so what are we left with? We are only left with 3 terms, 1, 2 and 3. So 3 into 1 is 3. Minus 12 plus 5, we get a dot b equal to minus 4. So a dot b, therefore, you can see comes out to be a scalar quantity. Okay, so this is the answer to the first part of the question, find a dot b. This is how you do it. All right, now see, in every step I have shown every detail. Now once you become an expert, from this line you can jump straight to this line, because you know only I dot I will count over here. I dot j will be 0, I dot k will be 0. Okay, likewise here, this dot minus 6j, only this matters. Alright, because j dot I will be 0, j dot k will be 0. Okay, likewise 5k dot k, only this matters. Okay, because k dot k will give you 1, every other thing, k dot I, k dot j becomes 0. So once you become an expert, you can jump straight away to this line over here. So that way, dot product between two vectors would be easier for you to solve. I suggest you initially you go through all of these steps. Now let us find a cross b. A cross b is this. This again, now remember, this is a cross product sign. Alright, there's a lot of difference in meaning between this sign and this sign, although they look similar. This is simply scalar multiplication, this is vector multiplication, cross product. So again, we break the terms. So this gives us I cross off the whole thing. Do not forget to write the symbol I'm telling you. Okay, be it a dot or a cross, do not forget to write the symbols. So I cross the whole thing, plus 2j cross the whole thing plus 5k cross the whole thing. That is vector B. Okay, then after 3 into 1 is 3, then I cross I, we are left with this. Minus 6 into 1 is minus 6, I cross J, okay, plus I cross K. So this we are dealt with the first term. Then comes the second term. 2 into 3 is 6, J cross I, minus 12 J cross J, plus 2 J cross K, plus 2 J cross K. Then we come to the third term. 15k cross I, minus 30k cross J, plus 5k cross K, Now we know I cross I, J cross J, K cross K is 0, remember. Okay, so 3 into I cross I is 3 into 0. Minus 6, I cross J, remember I cross J is K cap. Okay, so this is minus 6 K cap. Plus I cross K is minus J cap. Okay, so I cross J is minus J cap. Plus 6 into J cross I is minus K cap. Then minus 12 J cross J is 0. Plus 2 into J cross K is I cap. Plus 15 K cross I is J cap. Minus 30 K cross J is minus I cap. K cross J is minus I cap. Plus 5 into K cross K is 0. Okay, and finally, what therefore we get is A cross B comes out to be 3 into 0 is 0, minus 6 K cap, plus into minus is minus J cap, plus into minus is minus 6 K cap, 12 into 0 is 0, plus 2 I cap, plus 15 J cap, minus into minus is plus 30 I cap, 5 into 0 is 0. Okay, then what we are left with is we only deal with the like terms. So 2 I cap, 30 I cap. So this gives us 32 I cap. Then let us look for terms having J cap. So minus J cap plus 15 J cap. So this gives me plus 14 J cap. And finally K cap. So minus 6 K cap minus 6 K cap gives me minus 12 K cap. Okay, so you can see A cross B comes out to be a vector.